I got for selling me clothes, open for selling me blanket. If ever I list for the soldier again, devil shall be me sergeant.
Right, ladies and gents, not going to apologise for the birds cooing and so forth, because that's nice to live somewhere where you got a lot of trees and so forth. Right, stuck up a video yesterday of a neck pouch and a Laplander pouch. Very simple projects for anybody that's into trying to get into a soul uppering and save yourself a few bob. I've just looked now and I had 54 comments on a video that's not strictly bushcrafting, it's kit making, so just really appreciate that. One of the guys, I think he might be a first time commenter or whatever, it doesn't, you know, no dramas there, mate, but you asked me what sewing machines or how, you know, what equipment do I use, and as I think my reply was, if it has indeed posted, you know what, it's easier to show you rather than tell you, mate. So ladies and gents, and I suppose it's a logical progression to think, you know, well, I'll not do what he's doing, what have I got to look for? So I'll just give you a brief introduction as to the two sewing machines. This one I've had for nearly 2 years. It's a Fisher Rossmann, and ladies and gents, what you've got to do is I've been okay buying stuff. I've had two machines off eBay, and both excellent service, served me well. I've only recently bought a newer one. This is a Fisher Rossmann. Now you can go all down the makes you want, but what you've got to be able to do is the search criteria that I use is semi-industrial sewing machine, and a list will come up and then you'll start getting an idea of what you want. Now the one in front of you I paid £160 for well over 2 years ago. It served me very well. The only thing I've had to do is replace one of the drive belts, which, you know, it's just wear and tear. To say I've got my money back on that machine is unbelievable. In just the stuff that I've made for me and stuff I've been able to make and shoot out to other people. You know, obviously I'm not a rich man, but you know what time I've got, I can use the sewing machine. Loads and loads of how to beginners sewing machines. Just drop that in YouTube, you know, how to sew and all that. It'll all bring you up. Wouldn't dream of boring people with you know, threading up sewing machines, because yours is going to come with diagrams, and now it's been done so many times before. But so ladies and gents, excuse me, I'll try not to get in the shadow so you can see it. It's an old machine, a metal machine, very robust. Like I said, search criteria semi-industrial sewing machine. It doesn't have a million features on it, and I'll bring you in closer to show you them in a moment, but you don't need them for the type of sewing up, you know, that you're looking at what I do, if that makes sense. It's got everything I needed, and a lot of the stuff you've seen that I've done so far on this machine. So what I'll do is just to show you the basic, what I think the basic features on the sewing machine you'll need. I'll bring you in closer and just explain them to yourself. Alright lads and ladies. Well, as we can see, the first button down here is the bottom feed tray. That's the thing that comes in and grabs your material. You can have it up working or down if you didn't want it there. Okay. Every machine will come with a back button, so when you start off a stitch, you do 1 or 2 stitches, hit the back button, it'll go back and forward and lock the stitch. Okay. Never found a sewing machine that doesn't come with this. Now in all sewing machines in some way will have these features. Okay, so here we see it's at number 4. That is the length of the stitch. Okay, you can have it a very short length or a very long length, and when I'm just doing normal sewing I have it about number 4, number 3 if I really want it tight. Okay, so you've got your needle there, so you can have it in the middle, you can have it going slightly to the right for putting zips in, and again it's nice, you can have it to the left when you're putting the other side of the zip in. Okay, so that's another feature. I don't tend to use that one too much. Okay, so you've got the stitch length. Okay, so that's how long or how many stitches you want per inch. Now all of them will have this here is what I would call or refer to as the zigzag stitch, and in short, basically push that there, push that one there. Yours may be a dial or whatever, so when you see me and I'm doing the 25mm webbing and I'm going across and making like the British flag sort of sign out of it, I will put it on 1.5 and I'll turn the stitch length down to 1.5 there, and that makes it a very nice and tight stitch. basically these are the basic stitches that I use on this machine. Like I say, I'm not doing any fancy embroideries with silks or anything like that. Again, I'll talk about needles in a second, but just a few more features on this machine. Well, here we are. It's easier for me to do it handheld. There's your bobbin winder. Every machine's going to have one of them. And around the top here, put my scissors down for a moment. That's red, just means that my needle's just that normal vertical, but it can do some sort of overlooking type stitches, and each of these signs there, once turned round, ladies and gents, that's like a full lock over stitch. That's the W stitch, and that's another tighter stitch. So even though this initially it doesn't seem like it's got a lot of features, for a semi-industrial machine this has got a lot going for it, ladies and gents. And the needles that I use, again, nothing special. You can just go into the shop, ask the ladies, they'll know what you mean. I think it's a 10 180, don't quote me on that, but just ask them for leather or a canvas needle. I'll talk about cottons in a minute. And other than that, apart from this feed tray coming off, right, there's two clips underneath. Every sewing machine is going to have a different thing to do it, but nice solid old metal plate for getting all your stuff through. Remembering, whatever you're sewing, you know, if you rolled up a poncho and you have to push it through there rather like a log, ladies and gents, so that's always something to remember when buying a sewing machine. Try and get the best length you can there, okay? Or if you had a poncho there and you was just doing, you know, the outer side of it, you've got to get that whatever material going through there. Quite hard to explain that, but obviously that comes off. And again, once you're doing a sleeve or your trousers or whatever, that's why that's designed to go around there, so the whole thing can go round the whole sewing machine. And as you see me putting cuffs on and so forth, that's worth a point to note there, ladies and gentlemen. And just on this one particular, some of them are in the top. There's me bottom bobbin, and again, I'm not going into all that, one because I'll bore you to death, and two because so many people have done it on YouTube and done it far better than I can do it. So ladies and gents, there's my, my prime machine that I use, semi-industrial, cost me about 160 quid, and woo, I have, yes indeed, had my money back for that. Recently bought another one, and I'll show you that, because that's a step up from this one, sewing through thick materials. So I'll bring you back in a sec. Right, ladies and gents, this is the machine I've recently bought, and I'll say on an industrial scale, this is like 2 up from the last one you've seen. The last one you've seen will take 3 or 4 layers of Cordura nylon for sewing up your pouches and so forth. It doesn't have any problem with like 50mm webbing or 25mm webbing for your straps and your buckles and so forth. This one here is a HB Kirk, and it's an Alpha standard. Don't worry about too much about the names, and remember it's a semi-industrial sewing machine. This one's obviously an older model. The guy got it off, you can see by he reconditions sewing machines. That's his business, that's how he earns his money. Comes guaranteed for a year, and it was cost me 159 quid, and literally I ordered it about 1 o'clock and it turned up about 11 o'clock the next day, so I was well happy with that and the seller. Now this one's nothing flash, nothing fancy. I'll bring you closer just to show you some of the features on this one. Wait one. Right, ladies and gents, just give me a little pointer there. Literally what we have here, it only does a straight stitch, a straight stitch, doesn't do any ziggy zag ones like my last one does. Goes from stitch length, and that's how long the stitch is. Number 1 is the smallest stitch, i.e. stitches per inch, and number 4 is probably what you have it on normal. Okay, that is it. And literally when you want to stitch backwards to lock off your stitch, you just push that up 1 or 2 stitches, push it down, and it will come through the machine. Really robust machine. Okay, don't make things like this anymore. And obviously you've got a bobbin winding system here, and that's it. But for heavy duty work, and I'll show you what it does and what sort of give me a proper boner when I saw this for 159 quid. Mrs. Titlewood went, go on, treat yourself. Strange that when they see something they want and you do, they go, oh, treat yourself, and I'll do the same, bless her. But it does some really serious sewing. So I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer just to show you what this machine's capable of doing sewing wise. So just give us a sec. Right, ladies and gents, as you can see here, this is a piece of leather. It's probably approximate, like a normal trouser belt, but it's a pucker leather. This is really tough stuff. And as you can see, I've sewed a couple of pieces on this, because the guy, you know, he sends it, it's still set up ready to go, and then I've sewn some of these stitches. So here with this one, you can see it just does the straight stitch, doesn't do any other form of stitching but just a straight stitch. But hey ho, look at that, ladies and gents, that goes straight through a tough piece of leather. And on this one, as you'll see, the foot length, and by that mean the maximum that it comes up is pretty good as well, and it can go up one more. So certainly that will take your sort of baker tent type canvases and stuff like that. I don't intend to sort of getting into the canvas sewing unless it's for me personally, because it can be a right pain. David Fries will tell you all about that. Nor the leather. I'm not a leather man. There's too many of you guys doing it out there and doing it really, really well. But what I do want is a robust machine that will sew through. You know, it picks up where the other one leaves off, if that makes sense, ladies and gents. I aim to sort of either modify a Bergen or make my own Bergen, and you know, for the shoulder straps and stuff like that, you're going to want something with the power. This thing's just like a tank, and it really does shoot through. So I'll leave you that there, ladies and gents. It's nothing flash, nothing fancy. It cost me £159, and you know, I was really happy with it. The service, I got it from eBay. I'm not telling anybody where to buy your machines for, because guess what, that's up for you to decide, but that's what it does. They're all roughly the same machines, and inside there the guys sent loads of stuff, like spare needles and all the stuff you'll need to actually get your machine up and running. So ladies and gents, that's my machine. I've only had this a couple of 3 days, but yeah, very much happy with this. I'll predominantly be using the other one most of the time, and then when I'm going to do some really heavy duty stuff, lots of layers, as you can see, there's plenty of room under that foot. This is the one. I'll just flick them over on my sewing table, and all I use is a sewing table, and it is in my front room, so my missus is ever so good at let me having it there. Really, it's on like a very small TV table, perhaps not too bigger than that sewing machine itself, and it just sits on there. And right, so I think that is the only thing I'll show you, some of the materials that I'm using and some of the cottons, because that was another direct question as well. So I'll bring you back and I'll bring you inside. Right ladies, I'd say the main cotton that I use, especially for anything that's going to take any weight or stress, there's many cottons on the market. This is just the one I use, okay? It's not the cheapest brand, but we don't go messing about. This can be anywhere between £4 or £5. I managed to get some from a closing down sale, which was nice. But don't skimp on your cottons, because that's the main component and strength of whatever you're sewn up. Now this is Gutermann, which is the brand name, but it's a polyester cotton. Now polyester, you know, it's not cotton, it's got man-made fibres in it. It doesn't sort of rot, and it will not shrink or absorb water like, you know, your normal cottons will. So that comes in all different colours. That's a very dark rifle green there, you know, the browns I use, I've got beige ones, and the normal olive green ones. Okay, so Gutermann, okay, if you're asking for a starting point, Gutermann cotton, very, very good. That is 100% polyester, and I always find it goes for the 200 metre rolls. Okay, slightly more expensive than the 100 ones. So that's the 500 metre roll there. 500 metres of cotton. That's not too bad. That's £1 100 metres, I reckon. And it's just what I use, and it's never let me down as yet. So I still keep using that one. But that's the main cotton that I will use. There is some other cottons, and I'll bring you back in a second. Ladies and gents, if you're not doing any stuff that's going to require a great amount of strength, now I'll give you an example here. Just hemming stuff up, putting, you know, a hem on something or sewing something together that's not going to be taking a lot of stress. Your normal average cotton will do, but again, in my view, it needs to be polyester, because it doesn't absorb water and it doesn't rot. Here we see some brown stuff, and I was lucky on a boot fair. Geezer wanted about £4 for it, so I beat him down because I took all the rolls he had. Very big roll, cotton that the army uses for repairs, and again, very, very tough stuff. Not as strong as a polyester, more than up to the job, and you know, you've just got to find one that you can work with. Again, if you're making little bits and bobs like the lighter pouches and stuff like that are not going to take a lot of stress, then that's you're perfectly fine using that cotton. But as I say, word of warning, polyester, ladies and gents, works a treat. Ladies and gents, this is some of the strapping I use for belt loops and all manner of things, shoulder straps. It's literally seatbelt material. You can get sort of 2 different types, but I always go for the polypropylene. Find that's a little stiffer and better to work with. Here you will see this is like a seatbelt material. If you're just doing a little bit, you could even use some black seatbelt material. 50mm or 2 inches. It is nylon, and when you cut a bit, obviously just use your lighter to go down and seal that end, stop it from fraying. Alright, and you know, I pay in and around £1 a metre for that, okay? No problems. And again, the rest of the stuff is very much the same, just different colours. There's some 40mm webbing, which was I'm going to make somebody a belt out of. That's my next on to do. There's the old brown stuff, and whoa, actually got some beige stuff there for a little project I've got going on. But that's 25mm and that's 40mm. Okay, just to give you an idea of the sizes there, ladies and gents. And again, all you have to put is like 40mm webbing, 20mm webbing, 50mm webbing on, you know, in eBay. You don't have to buy for eBay. Show you what you're doing, or even go in your local haberdashery shop if you've got one in your town. Sadly, such shops are very rare on your high streets now and again. And ladies and gents, just while if you're just doing this as a very beginner's thing, okay, there is one thing you shouldn't skimp on, and that is a decent pair of scissors. Again, another main component. You're going to be cutting everything from your cotton so you can thread the needle through, and cutting a Cordura nylon. Okay, so there's the scissors, there's the strapping. I'll just bring you back in a sec when I just give you a quick explanation of Cordura nylon. Right, ladies, what we here is see an example of what I've called bushcraft brown Cordura nylon. It's 1000 denier, and that's a good search. 1000 denier Cordura nylon. Oh, there's a dog outside. On that's the main stuff I use. It's what they use for making Bergens out of, and you should be paying about in the region of about 10 or 11 quid a metre. Obviously this is in brown, it comes in beiges, it comes in blacks, you can even get it in DPM, although that's a lot more expensive, and all different types of colours. Normally I'll use green, but at the moment I've just got a few brown projects on the machine, doing somebody a axe sleeve shoulder carrier. But again, that's it. And again, that's 1000 denier Cordura nylon. You can also get 500 denier Cordura nylon. Sorry, mixing my words up there. And that's just a little bit lighter weight cloth, but absolutely brilliant for things that are, you know, not going to be like for pouches, but just slips, phone covers and stuff like that. Okay, so that's 1000 denier and 500 denier Cordura nylon. And again, you've all got the PVC material, the 2 ounce or the 4 ounces, and that's the stuff that you'd be making your tarps or your drawstring bags out of. On that, I could like stretch this out to another 15 minutes just talking about materials. If anybody, and you've got an interest to watch my videos and you've got a question, please PM me and I'll try and get back to you. And if you're on Facebook, it's Eddie Mac. Sometimes that can be easier just to pass pictures over, ladies and gents. So I'll leave it there. Obviously, if you're wondering why I'm doing this, I've got a few minutes, so I'm having to wait in because Mrs. Tightwad's got a kitchen appliance coming, and she wants me to wait in. She's working, so yeah, a couple of minutes to do this. And again, I'll say thank you very much, ladies and gents, for one, watching my videos, and two, taking the time to comment. So thanks a lot, ladies and gents. And as I say, if anybody's starting off, you can always flick me a question either on YouTube, which I can't always reply to, or Eddie Mac on Facebook, and I'll do what I can to help. So hope for the gentleman that asked me there, that answers your questions and a brief overview of the 2 sewing machines I've got. So ladies and gents, take care. Thank you.